Yeah.
How is it still? It's been a minute. Been a minute. They got it all commercialized and stuff, and a lot of
Yeah. I mean,
doggies go up there, right?
yeah. It's not my favorite, but it works if
You don't have the you
yeah.
can't.
15 seconds.
Is there any place where I could sit her?
Yeah, yeah. Once you grab a chair and you can come around here, or you can sit right there on the corner. Either or, whichever is good for you. Come on, James.
All right, so let's have fun.
Hey.
It's the name of the game. Are these in the?
And you're going to talk about those, right?
Yeah.
I take 50 a day,
50 swap fuel?
herbs and vitamins.
Okay, nice. I was like, you're
Wow.
almost beating Lee over there.
My mother used to
She'll
pump
be-
about 17 of
she'll
them
be
down my throat
Like a shower.
at a time. Oh.
Right?
Okay. Stand by.
Will that door open or close?
We'll close that. Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to the TLC Unleashed Show Hollywood Vibes Sports and Life with your host Tracy Lynn. We're live in the studio today. Two incredible guests with me today. Sharp dressed man, sharp dressed woman. We have Mel Novak and Vita Craddock. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
My honor.
You guys are amazing. We've had some fun. If you can see on Facebook, we're live right now on Facebook Live. But we're doing, we had to, kind of put Mel in his place since he's a tough guy. And, Brent and I were, he was showing us some moves.
That was fun.
He won. He won. He did.
Yeah, he won. But next time I think we'll get him, right?
They whooped me.
I thought I was tough with the Matrix suit on, but he proved me wrong. So it's great.
Vita Craddock, high fashion designer, Mel Novak. He's, you've been in so many movies, action actor, martial artist, extraordinaire. So let's talk a little about both of your careers. So, Mel, you've been in the industry for a little while now.
Long while.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's for sure. 36, 37 years.
Mm-hmm. And what I love about you is that, you're a tough guy in the movies, but a real soft, kind, loving-hearted man, in real life. And that's what, you're giving back. You're working in Skid Row. You have a ministry. You're working with, working some of the highest crime rate prisons in the
Yeah.
world. Is that correct? Yeah. So.
35 years on Skid Row and 33 years in prisons and penitentiaries all over the
Wow.
country.
Wow, amazing.
Right?
And Vita, you've been doing your fashion designing
Wonderful.
since the 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. I started out with jewelry.
Yeah.
Crystal jewelry, and I used to make it out of my little studio apartment with the
Mhm.
bed out the wall, right? And then it was nice, Macy's, they wanted it, HSN. And then I didn't have that self-esteem. Another lady came out making crystal jewelry, and they were like, yeah, they loved her. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll back down.
Oh, no.
It was just a little much for me, too. Swarovskis can be, and Czechoslovakian crystals can be very
Mhm.
expensive. So someone came into my store on Melrose one day and asked me, did I know any designers? That he had a client and they wanted a dress and they had a $10,000 budget. I said, me. I didn't have a sewing machine. I didn't have anything. I said, me, I can do this. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to do the dress for the lady, but from that point on, I've been into fashion. So after making 150 dresses with no one to wear them, I decided to do fashion with those dresses.
Nothing like
Good for
fashion.
you.
Yeah.
I know. Well, speaking of fashion, I mean,
Yes.
the sharpest dressed man I've seen, I think ever, maybe I'm going to say, or
Wow.
yeah.
Not all the time.
Always top to bottom. Like, Mel, you got to get these shoes in this picture. So we have to see these shoes. They're incredible. And he's got, yeah. And many different
Love 'em.
colors.
Love 'em.
Brown and white, blue and white, gray and white, black and white. I'm old school. And, my signature is suits like I dress now, but except when I go to Skid Row.
Yeah.
When I'm in
Mhm.
denims.
Mhm,
And,
of course.
I would never get dressed up now.
No.
When I go into prisons, some of the brothers in there go, mm-hmm. His brother's down. He'd be sharp. It gets their attention.
Yeah.
And
So you two dress like this when you go to the gym?
oh yeah.
Oh, I would
Oh,
too. It's such
wow, I love
inspiration,
that.
right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good for you.
I was just up in Washington at a prison, and some of the guys says, "Man, when I get out, I want to get a shirt like that. When I want to get a suit." The other one said, "I'm going to get shoes like." Well, just get out and stay out.
Yeah. Start with that.
Right.
Start with that, and then we'll work on the
Work
wardrobe.
Work on the rest.
When I started out in prison missions, there were 750,000 men and women, more than anywhere in the world. Today, you got 7 million.
Mhm.
You got 14 million on parole. See, the devil's busy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
God says, "Man, people perish for lack of knowledge." In Hosea 4:6, this Bible knowledge. They better learn spiritual warfare is real. You cannot take it lightly.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Amen
Was
to
that
that.
always part of your life, Mel, or was there some part of life that happened for you that changed your mindset?
No, in my family, we're Serbian. We went to Serbian Orthodox Church, and
Mhm.
no matter what, you went to church.
Mhm.
My mother says, "Get up," and but I've had like 28 surgeries in my life. I should have died 7 times.
Hmm.
I've been through a lot of things, and those adversities helped my faith to grow.
Yes.
And but I invited the Lord in my heart when I came out here. It was an adventure,
Mhm.
because where I go, most people won't go. I got to
Mm,
sign a paper if I'm
right.
taken hostage.
Mm.
They don't make deals.
Right.
So, but I told you I got flaws, and one of them I'm not turning my cheek.
Yeah. Good for you, though. I mean, you have to stick with what you believe.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like the enemy. The fact that I played villains,
Mhm.
it opens doors with these people because in
Yeah.
their mindset, I'm one of them.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely.
And I'll sit down with someone who killed 10 or 12 people, and I'm getting ideas how they walk, how they
Mm.
talk, and so
Interesting.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I'm always
When did you start in the industry? And have you always been an actor? I mean, you
No.
started in martial arts and
I-
studied.
I didn't come out here for acting.
Yeah.
I had 60 scholarships in football, major universities all over the country,
Mhm.
basketball, track, signed a pro baseball contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And a year and a half later, I was a cripple. They butchered me. I got an 18-inch scar.
Mm.
I was crippled for about 5.5 years. And it took every ounce of stubbornness and strength to get uncrippled.
The
Mhm.
willpower.
And but it was the Lord,
Mhm.
When that happens to a 19-year-old, everything's gone. You turn to
Yeah.
drugs or alcohol to numb the pain, medicate the pain. I didn't do that.
Mhm.
So that's where it all started. It gradually grew. And I didn't come out here for movies. I didn't come out here for a ministry.
Mhm.
I had to get away from people who, when you're down, they kick you.
Absolutely.
And they
Yes.
kept saying, "You should have did." So I
Mhm.
left. And I got a job in an insurance company, and one of the gals says, "You look great in clothes. My cousin's a modeling agent.
Mhm.
Would you like to meet her?" Sure. That's where it started.
Oh, nice.
I love when those doors open like that.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Good fit.
after I did a Game of Death and other martial arts movies, I was invited to Union Rescue Mission as a celebrity.
Mhm.
Well, the CEO was watching me I had 25 street people. I'm good at encouraging, edifying, and uplifting, no matter what. And he says, "You got to do a service there." I said, "Sure." Then the LA mission, the Fred Jordan mission. Then there was an inmate from LA County Jail got released,
Mhm.
and he's in a spiritual growth program. So he calls Mark Maciel, who was a chaplain there, and he spent time in San Quentin.
Mm.
So the inmate says, "Stick, the assassin from Game of Death, is preaching down here." So that's how I started. County jail, and went to Rahway, New Jersey, penitentiaries in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, Alabama, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Washington, Oregon, all over the country.
Wow.
Mhm. Did you ever feel you got picked on off the set because you were such a bad guy in the movies, so people wanted to challenge that?
Oh, there were times, and I'd say, "Come on."
Mhm.
I said, after I whoop you, then I'll forgive you.
Yeah. That's good.
But it's a thing of even in the prisons, like I'll walk to tears in the high power Super Max. You're supposed to not get behind that red line.
Mhm.
So I go right up there and I'm laying hands on them and shaking their hand. So the one inmate says, "Let me ask you, what if somebody grabs you?" I says, then I go this way, that way, break their arm, then I repent.
What are their reactions? The facial
That was
expressions. What are
cute.
the reactions? I love
You
it.
know, that service I did up in Washington, there were 70 inmates all prayed the salvation prayer. Then I had to give autographs.
Yeah.
So what I do is God loves you, John 3:16 or Jeremiah 31:3. I never turn anybody down. I mean, I don't believe in
Good
that.
for
I always, you got to make time with people,
That's right.
whether it's at the airport or whatever.
Mm.
And the movies has opened up a lot of doors in different areas.
Mhm.
And
It's that timing in life, and it is like you said, Vita, that perfect fit. It fits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
if
works.
it fits, it fits. It's like an assignment. And I think you know about it spiritually. We all have assignments. So, you
Mhm.
know, it's
Jeremiah
said.
29:11.
There you go. And if you keep coming back to something in your life and you keep, why am I here? Why do I keep coming back? It's not that you
Yeah.
are having a
Well-
struggle with it. It's that the spirit is trying to tell you that might be where you should be. So,
That's it.
yeah,
Mhm.
I thought of that on the way here.
It's nice having that awareness because not all
Yeah.
of us are awake enough to see that
No.
and feel it.
It's hard.
Mhm.
It is
Everything
easier
is a
said than
choice.
done.
That's right.
I just,
Yeah.
on the Amiga Man last night, it's an internet show. It goes to 167 countries. I've done about 100 of them now, 2 hours.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
And I have a huge following around the world.
Mhm.
And that's what I talked about choices. People make
Mm.
choices. And,
Mhm.
you know, you see, well, first of all, life is short. Psalm 90,
Yeah.
verse 10.
Mhm.
You make a choice and you're going to prison. One guy in Florida had 999 years and 99-day sentence.
Wow.
Everything's gone.
Yeah.
Choices.
That's right.
Yes.
I chose never to drink or do drugs, which is a miracle.
Mhm.
I used to go to Hollywood parties. They have bowlfuls of cocaine. So if I was going to take a gal home, I put a 10 at on my shoestrings. I look up the nose. If I saw powder, nice to meet you.
That's so funny. You're like, no, you're out.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you.
But you know, it's there was a gal last week or 2 weeks ago sitting on a corner about 27, and she looked up at me with those dead eyes, a heroin addict.
Mm.
And then the pimps don't like me down there, and I don't like them. And I try to keep those women away from them.
Mhm.
It's just we live in a fallen world. Evil lurks everywhere,
That's right.
Mhm.
and so this is what my heart is.
Mhm.
That's my legacy. That's my passion.
We're blessed to have you on this planet.
Yes,
Vita,
yes,
when
yes,
you
yes.
were in that transition of making the jewelry, you're in your single apartment, you know, and you're thinking, okay, I don't know where to go next. And that person walked through the door of your design place. You had a beautiful studio, a design place in Beverly Hills, correct? For how long?
It was 2.5 years, maybe 3.
Okay.
And, you know, it was an experience. It was
Mhm.
me just being giddy. And I can totally relate to Mel because I'm a spiritual person, totally. I'm guided.
Yeah.
You know, I'm this wicky wacky guided person though, because I think I can do everything. But it's
Yeah,
always
I know.
fun stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing about me, it's always if I can do this, then I can go help that person.
Yeah.
Or if I can do this over here, then I can go do this, which is helping somebody.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just to me, and you know, when you say things, and I know I'm an only child, so I'm really spoiled, but I can, you know, I can sacrifice and I do. I love it. But, you know, when it comes to animals, children, and elderly, and
Yep.
just anybody that needs help, I don't
Yeah.
care who it is.
Mhm.
There's not
You know.
enough of that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm dressed now, and like I said, when I walk through, I'm out of my element because usually I'm somewhere where I know I might have to help someone. I carry bags of hygienical stuff in case I see a lady that needs something, and I pass that over to them.
Love that.
You know, unfortunately my doctor passed away, and about 3 weeks ago, but she was the director of the Homeless Coalition of Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and Santa Monica,
Mhm.
and I'm alumni of that. So it
Mm.
was really sad to see her go, but they're asking that I sort of take on some of the duties of hers, which I'm so excited to do that. So with me, it's not all about fashion. And I
Mhm.
mentioned to God, I'm like, oh, and I put it on Facebook the other day, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I did the American Cancer Society,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I did.
honestly, I'm going to tell a story that I think most designers or people would probably wouldn't tell.
Please.
But when they got to me in that show, there was nobody in the audience. Period. It was a show that someone gave, and it was such a great thing and a thought that the people that were there from start to beginning
Mhm.
because of that thought of consideration of what this person did for them. Everybody stayed. And it was the Cancer Society. Who
Yeah.
cares? I didn't care that anybody was in the audience. It was not a soul in the
Wow.
audience, and 6 designers stayed behind to do my designs. And that's what you see the first of the week. They were troopers. They had modeled from 8 a.m. and I came on about 10 p.m. that night.
Wow.
And they were troopers. They said, "Oh, let's put the heels back on." So Cancer Society, that's why I was there. I mean, and then the
Yeah.
next one, I didn't even know it was a Halloween thing.
Yeah.
It was Canine Cancer Society and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's all I knew. I didn't know what it was till I got there.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's what I do. Fashion is my passion, but I know what my assignment is. And my
Mm.
assignment is to help people through that. And
Absolutely.
I have an agenda. Why not do what I like, be in one of the biggest industries around? Because I know I can help like that.
Yes.
I know that somebody's in that industry, and that's where God leads me to be.
Yeah.
So
And Vita, I
it's
know that
easy.
I know that to be true of both of you because when I
Yeah.
met both of you, it was so profound, just the feeling that I had, and I was captivated by both of your energies and your spirits. And I mean, we just kind of walked past each other, and it was like
Right?
we just turned, and
Right.
we needed
It's a
to talk.
carpet. It's a carpet
Yeah.
that God has me on. And everybody that's in that space, to me, has come back, but they're supposed to be there.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think it's a good thing. I cannot even believe the shows that I've just done for the charities I've done them with. Oh, and while I'm saying that,
Yeah.
November the 11th this
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Okay, Designs by Vita was missing in action for a while, but she was there. She was preparing for Fashions for Causes.
Yes.
She was actually preparing for something else, but we had Harvey, and I said, okay, let's do a thing. We'll give proceeds to Harvey. Then we had, I believe, Florida came next, and
Yep.
Las Vegas.
Yep.
One of my comrades lost her brother in Las Vegas. And then we had Puerto Rico. So I know we've had some before that, but God says you can't be Captain Save it, whatchamacallit, and you
That's
have
right.
one, you do one,
Mm-hmm.
then it's really good. And I
Yeah.
did that. I heard that when I used to take girls into my home and
Mm-hmm.
take care of girls off the streets and
Mhm.
different things like that. So I have a mission. I just get up and go here, and I love fashion and I love gowns, but my agenda is totally something else. And I want people to know what that agenda is, because there's a lot of sheep's wolves out there in sheep's clothing,
Right.
and I don't want them to attack me. They need to know where I am and where
Yeah.
I'm coming from. And maybe this might let them know it's about fashion, but
This
it's
will.
about humanitarian. It's about helping people.
I've
That's
done
right.
many cancer fundraisers. I'm a cancer survivor.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
I had prostate cancer, and I was a dead man walking because
Mm.
PSA went to 34. If it goes past 3, you're in trouble. And I refused chemo. I refused radiation.
Mm.
And God's a God of healing.
Mm-hmm.
I've had miracles in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't show partiality or favoritism.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my prostate. It's healthy. My last PSA test was 0.2.
Amazing. Clap.
Yay.
Now I'll
Giving him.
testimony to you, diabetes. They told me they said, oh, she's gonna have to take this medicine for the rest of her life. I told my daughter, I'm not taking this stuff. So they were scared that I was gonna stop taking the meds, right? I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna stop taking the meds. I was gonna switch things around.
Yeah.
So that's 7 years ago. 2 bottles of insulin 3 times a day. I take nothing now. Not a pill,
Yeah.
not a shot, not nothing.
Amen.
And I did that in a year and a half.
Good
So
for you.
those
Do you
are the
mind telling
things.
us how, Vita?
Those are the things that I'm coming up to do. That's
Yes.
part of me too.
Yes.
To get where I can position this way with the fashion, to get where I can really position myself to help people with the experiences that I've gone
Yeah.
through during fashion, then that's what I want to do too. And I can't really say on the radio on this show how to do it, but those that are on Facebook, if you need to know, I can help. But
Yeah.
it's easy. You don't have to live with something. And you don't have to rush to not live with something.
Good point.
You just
Very
take
good.
your time, at what you do, and you think realistically about it, that it fits you, not this person and that person. Because if you do it for this person and that person, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, and being a health and wellness expert and practitioner for over 30 years myself, I know and I see, and people, that's the first thing I say to my clients and that I coach. I say, we're going to get you off these medications first. That's going to be number one.
There you go.
And they go, oh, there's no way. And there's no one's ever told me that before. And
Yeah.
I was put in your path in your life to tell you that this is possible.
That's right.
And we're going to show you how.
That's right.
And health and wellness is, one of those things where we start changing things in our lives and changing our mindset and our mentality. And the mind controls the body. And, it's with the cancer, the diabetes, and all these diseases that we have.
And all those injuries, and his
Yes.
body sustained all of that.
It's not luck. And it's
Not
and
by a
people go,
long
"God, you're
shot.
so
I don't
lucky."
believe in lucky
No,
chance.
it's not luck. or
Not at
chance.
all.
Absolutely
Not at all.
not.
Not at
I had a
all.
lady on Facebook, Mel Novak, you need to repent. All those pictures with guns and all the movies you do. So I says, well, I never got a paycheck in 35 years. My nonprofit owes me over $50,000. So if you want to pay me what they're going to give me for this movie, then I won't do it. Of course, you never heard from her again.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
They,
Because
right.
they disappear real
I do
quick.
play.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
do play villains
Yes.
mostly.
Yeah. How did you get casted for the villain tough guy role?
I think the first role I did a Mannix. They had all kind of big names, but I'm the one they
Right.
remember because I
Mannix.
with a silencer, I shot a guy in the back, a hitman. But the first big movie was Black Belt Jones,
Mm.
and it became the third biggest moneymaker that year. And when I went to read for it, of course, I was learning martial arts then with Pat Johnson and
Mhm.
Sonny Barnes, and so I went on my interview with my gangster suit, gangster hat, and the reading with Robert Klaus. So the last line was, "Look at him, he's sweating just like a pig." So I was listening. Nobody did this. I grabbed him by his chest. So look at him. He's sweating just like a pig, and I spit on him. And went like this. I beat myself up all the way home. What is the matter? As soon as I got home, the phone's ringing. Oscar Williams, who wrote the script and Cat, he's laughing. He said, "Man, you got the part. He loved you."
Nice.
The first day of shooting, I had a lot of stuff to do, and it turned out really good. So the next day, the guy says, "Mel Novak, yo, producer and director want to see you." Why? I don't know, but they said to hurry up. And I go, "Oh, man." So I said, "Did I do something wrong?" They says, "No, you did everything right, but your partner can't handle dialogue. We want to know if we could give you his dialogue." I go,
With
all
open
the dialogue.
arms. Give it
ended
to
up-
me.
You're like, yes.
I had a tremendous role. I played Hitman named Blue Eyes. But 2/3 through, Robert Klaus says, "I'm going to take you to Hong Kong for the Bruce Lee movie
Mhm.
to play Stick the Assassin."
Oh.
Now,
Yes.
Raymond Chow didn't want me executive producer, Andre Morgan producer. They wanted a big name. Klaus says no, because in Black Belt Jones, he let my fight scene in slow motion. You had the karate guys, you had the stunt people.
Mhm.
Mine was so real because I was an athlete,
Yeah.
and I always hung out with the stunt people. And the fight I did in Hong Kong was 8 at night till 8 in the morning in the rain.
Wow.
That
Wow.
was a long. So, but 2 weeks after when it started, they came to me and says, we were wrong. You were perfect to play Stick.
Mm.
And then when I had the matchstick, I changed the color to match the suit.
Of course you
The
did.
director
I
loved
was
it.
gonna say right.
Yeah, he says,
I love that.
"Yeah, I like it. I like it." I did 4 movies for him.
That's cute.
Yul Brynner, Max von Sydow, William Smith,
Nice.
in The Ultimate Warrior,
Mhm.
and Joe Lewis. You remember Joe?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was a great looking guy, great in karate. He beat Chuck Norris, all those guys. But he had a problem, and he passed away with brain cancer, I think.
Mm.
That was Force 5. That's why they put acupuncture needles all over me. I said, no actor's going to do that. So they had a real acupuncture with his hands. But it's all about timing. But see, God works out schedules.
Mm.
I did from 2015, 16, 17, about 9 pictures,
Mhm.
starring and co-starring. You know how tough it is to get a role, let alone starring or co-starring?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in Syndicate Smasher, I only missed 2 services.
Mm.
I had the main role. I'm all through this thing. Tons of dialogue. And Tales of Frankenstein, which is coming out next year. Really, it's gonna. I really believe it's gonna be a hit. I played a mad scientist,
Very cool.
so that
Very
was.
cool.
But the thing is, God worked a schedule where I didn't miss one service.
Mhm.
In Syndicate Smasher, I had killed these 4 Yakuzas who killed my girlfriend with a Uzi. Then the next day, I didn't have any shooting. I'm at county jail. So I told the inmates, you know, I don't like those Yakuzas. I killed 4 of them yesterday. Then I paused for 4 minutes. And the inmates looking at me, did he say he killed somebody? Then I said, but I use blanks. You guys use real bullets, you run a penitentiary. I'm going home.
That's funny.
Yeah.
One of the brothers would go, you're funny, man.
That's what I just said. Right?
But it's nice that you're able to be in there and just,
Yeah.
you know, give them that hope and share
Yeah,
these
It's
stories
the
and,
key.
you know, and just, and be real with them.
This,
And
yeah, that's
that's
what
what they need.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Hopelessness is the most devastating emotion in the world.
Yeah.
I see that at Skid Row all the time. I've been,
Mhm.
you know, there are times I come home and I sit down and cry.
Mhm.
You see
I
the
know.
devastation
Yeah.
of what a human being and body, everything's gone.
Yeah.
And they're addicted. And, you know, I never did drugs or alcohol. Where did God put me? Skid Row prisons.
Yeah.
In the prisons, in the big penitentiaries, there was $300,000 to $400,000 worth of drugs inside.
Wow. Really?
And they make Pruno. They get a bag and they put fermented fruit and sugar and stuff, shake it up, and they'll sleep with it. They get drunk as a skunk with it. They told me it tastes terrible, but they get it's people. I've had guys in the penitentiary. This one guy had 4 teeth missing. He goes, "Hi, how could I be a movie star?"
Bless his heart.
Well, first thing you gotta do is get out of here, brother.
Right?
Mhm.
That's the
And then,
answer.
why do you want to be a movie star? Why don't you just be an actor? I want success and prosperity. That's Joshua 1:8.
Mm.
Mm.
What's that one? DAT. See,
Yeah.
people don't have time or don't make time to spend time in the Word.
Yeah.
There's thousands of promises there. There's healing. There's everything imaginable, because it's a war we're in. 2 Corinthians 10:3,
Mm.
and it's raging right now.
Mhm.
Raging. In all these years, this is the worst year I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Mm.
it is terrible. Vito, what I love about you too, not only being a fashion designer, but your heart and your spirituality, but you also provide that confidence
Mhm.
and for
Yeah.
women and the designs that you provide, because I mean, you must feel the reward of that, because I mean, for me to see, I was going through all your stuff, and when I met you, I went home and did my homework, and for a woman to be in a gown and to be able to express herself beautifully, and somebody handcrafting something specific to you and to your needs and your personality, that it must be so rewarding for you, because you know the shoulders are back and the chin is
Mhm.
up and the grace and the elegance and the class and the beauty, you know, and you put your heart, your passion, and your soul into every piece. I know that.
I do.
Mhm.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
Period on that.
Yeah.
It's just that I want people to also know what kind of designer I am. I'm an eclectic designer.
Absolutely.
That means that I'm not more of the glam gown designer.
Spunky and electric.
I do
as she
elect
says.
like this. I'm not the gown person. I may
Oh.
do. I like lingerie. I may do edgy.
Don't wear it.
And she's an influence, and you would love Betsy Johnson as well. So
Betsy Johnson
influence.
is my idol.
Yes.
Betsy Johnson is my idol but she's my idol because for number one, she knows everybody in her manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
For number two, is small as heck.
Mm-hmm.
For number three, is just personable.
Yes.
The people she works with is personable, which means, as you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
what she feels and what she can bring out, it is in her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on a niche, and that's the niche is knowing what's going to be out in a year or two.
Of course. Yes.
Do you do men's? or
I
just
do. I'm
women's?
starting to do men's now
You
because
got a model.
I know, a
look at
beautiful
this,
model.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
I am so inspired by the men's things now, but since I did this suit that I have on, I know that I could do a man's thing.
Mhm.
But again, I want people to really accept me for what I do,
Okay.
what I really am. I'm eclectic. I will come out with, I don't like a lot of fur, but I will come out with something net or lace or something with a baggy pant or something
Okay.
like you've seen that I've
Yeah.
just been doing.
Mhm.
Big sleeves that might cover the wall, and the girl could probably make another dress out of the sleeve.
Fun.
You know, I'm not the gown and glitter type
Mhm.
person, and I think everybody's accepting it. I'm also more of a casual wear.
Mhm.
You know, I don't even wear glitz and glam. I'm more of a jean girl. So,
Yeah,
you know, but you
absolutely.
tell me to create you something in jean, I am on it. You know, put some lace on that jean. And I do
Ooh,
want to
that'd be
say, if I can, since I have the opportunity, I'm a 3D designer as well.
Okay.
I like to redesign stuff.
Okay.
Isaac Misaki was my inspiration
Mm.
because when he started out, that was a lot of what he did. He did redesign.
Okay.
He took something and he made something out of it.
Mhm.
And then back in the day, you came up with the word, can I see myself? Bedazzled. Okay.
Yes,
When I looked up
bedazzled.
bedazzled, because I thought, I don't want to be a bedazzler, you know, because I see the commercials, right? And then when I looked up the definition and it being at that time a $10 billion industry,
Mhm.
and that was years ago, so I'm sure
Yeah.
it's more now. I thought, well, let me bedazzle. I'm the bedazzle girl,
I
you know?
love that.
So I started adding things to things because we
Mhm.
throw away a lot of things. And then I
Yes.
started seeing ideas where women were redoing their closets. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not throw it away. Let's just rip it apart and make something else out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Create-
They started with wedding dresses, actually, right?
Okay.
And then you found a lot of celebrities. They start doing the thing again. And
Yeah.
so as opposed to jewelry, I decided to do the fashion. So I'm a redesign girl. I'm a stylist. I've gone to school for fashion. I can
Okay.
create you something in your mind that has not been physically done, or I can take your whole closet and change it into something that you never knew you had. I am glad to do the show so I can let people know what I do. I'm also a stylist.
Yes, good.
I can go to the store for you and do your personal shopping and look at you and bring you something back. Out of 3, you're going to choose 2.
I love it. That's like
You're going to choose 2. And that's the
I love
niche that I do have.
Mhm.
I might take you out of the box a little bit
Mhm.
on that third one, but as soon as we kind of tweak it a little bit, you're going to like that one too.
Yeah.
You know, you'll like that one too.
Feel like
So
it'll warm up to you.
yeah, so my
Absolutely.
thing, and shoes, when I turned from here recently, because to me, designers are always starving artists. But I said, okay, instead of buying all this material, I could buy a little material and get some shoes and I could do those. And so what I started doing was, because I love steampunk. And I saw a lot of stuff was being done over with steampunk. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just do other things. So I started reupholstering shoes and redesigning the shoe. So I would just get a plain shoe and I'd make it look like something else. Then I started doing that so much until I could create my own pattern
Okay.
and do my own patterns on the shoes, which means that it was an original pattern on the shoe. So that means that is now my shoe.
I love
The
it.
whole
What would
pattern.
we design for Mel? I mean,
Mel, you know what? I see Mel in a zoot suit. I don't even know.
Have one.
I see Mel in a zoot
I
suit.
got the chain.
Oh my gosh, with that hat.
yes.
But I love the black and the white
I
and
have,
the zoot suit.
different
Oh
black
my
and
gosh,
white.
the pinstripe with the
I
suspenders
have it.
Oh yeah.
to fit him
Yeah.
with a sassy
He's like,
woman.
got
Wait, with a sassy woman with the same, with a brim, with
Nice.
her with
Yeah,
on
you.
that. That would be the most, right? I'm looking at her too.
I would love to.
That
What
would be the
you-
most fantastic thing because even with her hair and with you being a gangster and that setup, you guys would be amazing together on that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Amazing. So now that's what I do. I'll
Okay.
look at something and I'll visualize something. That's my
Yeah.
stylist part of it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm an eclectic person. I
Mhm.
like to just. I really think a lot of people are eclectic. I mean, how
Mhm.
many people just up and go to soirees all the time?
That's right.
You know, and I do want to mention, if I can,
Mhm.
my app and website
Yes, let's talk about the new app coming out.
that will be out the first of the year,
Mhm.
and it is called Designs by Vita Fashions on the Go.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to shorten the name, but on them. So if I do, it'll be abbreviations. No.
Yeah, there
But
you go.
it's for the convenience of the industry that I'm in.
Mhm.
A lot of everything, actually, every woman that wears something on the red carpet, trust me, I think even the 200th woman is
Mhm.
not going to wear it again
No.
because if they're in the mix, they've seen Julie wear it and Cindy wear it, or
Yeah.
they're not going to do it. And that's where you get that best dress and worst dress from.
Yeah, that's exactly where you
So,
get it
you
from.
know, us, we stray from that on the red carpet.
Yeah.
So my app and my website is based on rental.
Mhm.
You'll be able to rent from many designers, one-of-a-kind designers. You'll be able to return.
Okay.
Shipping is free. Cleaning is free. With this, women will be able to explore what they'll look like in something they wouldn't go buy.
Okay, good.
You'd be surprised how many women would look and, oh no. But behind closed doors,
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
do we not show out
Oh,
because we're behind
yeah.
those closed doors. But we don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
You
Step
know,
outside
we
the
don't-
box. You want
yeah.
to try something different.
We want to try something
Yeah.
different. So my website is based on the fact that several times a month,
Mhm.
you'll be able to rent, return. Cleaning fee is on me, return is on me,
Okay.
but it'll allow them the opportunity to try something different. And if you are in the glam world,
Mhm.
and you happen to be like some people I just heard that didn't get their stuff on the airplane, didn't get their clothes.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, we
yes.
would have been at the airport with you had you had the app, and you would have done whatever they're going to do that people would know that they need me.
Yes.
And someone would have been at the airport with you, gotten a
Mhm.
list of what you didn't have and what you needed,
Mhm.
and it would have been at the airport.
Okay.
Excuse me, it would have been at your hotel waiting for you.
Yeah. that's
Once you would have
amazing.
gotten where you're going. Now, I am also trying to get in with the drivers of Ubers and all these other people so that
Mhm.
even there's a driver that can, if you were stranded there and you're waiting on your stuff and you just happen to need the ride, let's take you to your hotel.
Yeah.
And everything else would be taken care
That
of.
is good. That
Yeah.
works because I mean that whole scenario that I told you about Tribeca Film Festival was an absolute disaster, and you know I'm not sure I did pull it off, but
You pulled it off.
It would have been incredible having you.
Well, you know, it's just a
They-
comfort thing, and
Yes.
it's not only for the industry; it's for the businessman.
Absolutely.
It's for the trade show person. It's for
Yeah.
anyone in those lines, anyone that just travels.
Yeah.
You know, the vacationer
I'm looking
our
forward to
luggage
seeing.
is like lost all the time. So
Yeah.
this would be a service to people, and the website would be for those that are not able to go to the stores.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of my sales come from people, believe it or not, that are in Alaska.
Ooh. Okay. Good.
They don't have the
Well, I'm
stores
looking
out there.
forward to seeing these suits we're going to come up with for Mel here.
Mr. Mel,
I
yes.
was thinking of the jeans and then the dress shirt with like some kind of funky patterns, and I don't know. I'm not really a stylist or a designer, so maybe I should just leave that up to the experts.
Well, I don't. I've
I'd go
never.
for the zoot suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that because that's the character that I see on him
Mhm.
all the way down as being
Yeah.
the stylist. You know, I like to take people a little bit out of their character, but not much because they don't wear it well. That
Yeah.
means that they're not going to pull off the look well.
Yeah. 'Cause
So
that confidence won't be backing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, but you know, but God gave me that vision. It's all
Yes.
about the vision that you have, and it takes me back to saying that's my assignment.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with Vita because Vita is not good at everything, but what he gave me to do, I know I'm good at that. So
Mhm. Speaking of being good at that, Mel, 4-time Hall of Famer in martial arts. So you practice quite a few different styles of martial arts?
Not anymore.
Okay,
I've had
no, but-
injuries, but
Yeah. What
I
were
was
the
like a
ones?
mongoloid. I'd
Okay.
learned from this one, from that one, even in a game of death. Robert Klaus had me working out with these world champs, Bob Wall, and all these other people,
Oh
and
yeah.
they were kicking my butt, getting ready for the big fight scene.
Hmm.
And 2 days before, he says, "You know what? I was thinking about it. Stick's a street fighter, so you don't have to do the martial arts. Let's just have you do the street." Thanks a lot, Bob. You could have told me that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because
But-
it's difficult learning the martial arts and being in the
Excuse me.
scene. How did you work through that? You had.
Because I always hung out with the stunt people
Mhm.
and always working. See, I like even when I played tournament softball, I was always practicing. That's why I always
Yeah.
hit over 800. And same thing, I always was. I didn't go sit around or go in my dressing room and just lay around.
Hmm.
At work, get focused.
Practice your skill and practice and
Yeah.
polish your art. And that's the key to any success, with any positions or jobs or careers.
Has to.
Hmm.
And I don't take anything for granted.
Hmm.
So I'm going to be prepared. If people say, "Well, he was lucky." No, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely.
So this is how it worked. And after Black Belt Jones and Game of Death and Eye for an Eye, I ended up doing almost every movie my own fighting stunts.
Yeah, you did your own stunts.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not many actors would do that, but like I said, I was an athlete.
You have
And,
to be too.
I was always in shape and always ready.
Mel, what was your personal favorite movie that you worked on and why? And who were your influencers as well, your mentors?
I think it has to go back to the Game of Death because I did it
Yeah.
in Hong Kong. And, I met Bruce Lee when he was doing the Green Hornet. The dude was looking at me like this. I go, "What?" He goes, "You got a villain's face." I knew that. And little did he know that I knew I was going to be the villain in his last movie. But Gig Young, Academy Award winner, I helped him because he had a real bad bout with drugs and alcohol.
Mhm.
So, and then Dean Jagger, Academy Award nominee. So you had some big people there, and it was. But my character, I really developed it. They had a guy from the States. They brought him there to help people with their character.
Mhm.
And after the first day or two shooting, he came to me. He says, "I can't help you. You got this locked. Perfect. Just keep doing what you're doing." So that worked out well. And then when people realize that I do my own fights and stunts, it makes it easier for the director in the cutting room.
Mhm.
They don't have to stop. And I've done some hairy ones with Yul Brynner, and I did the second toughest stunt in the whole movie. They made me an honorary stuntman.
What was that stunt?
I'm fighting Yul Brynner with a lit torch and a knife,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm quick. So in the first one, he's going back. It was action,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going after him. But if I burn him, they're going to fire me. So and he's going like King and I, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the director's, "Come on, Mel, doesn't look like you want him." I said, can we do this again real fast? And Yul Brynner says, "Yeah, come on." I was trying to burn his chin. He wasn't doing 1, 2, 3. But the big stunt was when he stabs me, I'm 6'2", and I had to fall 6 feet, which means you're falling 12 feet too. With a lit torch, you go in head first, you got to turn at the last second. There's a 2 by 2 foot balsa wood. My mark is a little pebble, and down
little
there is
pebble.
another 6 feet with concrete.
Mm.
And when the night before we did it on a bubble, and the torch wasn't lit, and the stunt coordinator, "Where's the torch, Mel?" I had it between my legs.
Mm.
So all the way home at night, torch out, torch out, torch. And then the next day I'm saying, and he comes to me, he was getting behind, and they had 3 cameras going.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over and says, "Mel, don't F this up." "Thanks a lot, Bob."
No pressure.
And you know what? It was unbelievable. It was like in slow motion. I crashed through there. The sand's coming down, and Yul Brynner's up there they were all clapping, and Yul Brynner's going, "Bravo, bravo." Then they put 40 live rats on me.
Oh my.
Oh,
I had sunflower seeds
oh.
and peanut butter, and I'm like this in the camera. So I held my breath for a minute and a half. And here comes this big, ugly rat coming up here.
Oh,
Same one from Ben and Willard. And I'm thinking, he comes up here. I'm going to screw your shot up. And I went like this, which the camera couldn't see. And he skittered off. And when I met the lady who owned the rats, I was looking at her like this. She said, "Why are you looking at me? You know, people look like they're pets."
Oh,
Yes, they do.
oh no.
Yes,
She
they
did,
do.
she
Yes,
did.
that's true. They
She
are
did.
like their
Yes.
I
pets and
says,
look like their pets.
"Oh, I just thought you remind me of someone." I didn't tell. You look like a rat.
You
You
might be
see?
like big rat down there.
And, But Bobby
Thank
Bass
goodness.
was the lead stunt coordinator, and they made me an honorary stuntman. I mean, they tipped their hat to me.
Was that your toughest stunt then to do?
Oh yeah, because
far.
you could have got killed on that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. What was it like to work, or what was Bruce Lee like personally and professionally?
personally, he was a perfectionist. If you're a perfectionist, you're never satisfied. He was awesome. There'll never be another one like him. Never has been, never will be. I really liked him. I had not one negative thing I could ever say about him. I was honored to meet him, and it's tragedy. Now his son, because they had up at Paramount, they had a Bruce Lee. I think it was after 5 years that he was passed, and so Linda, his wife, and Brandon, and the daughter. Brandon's a sweet kid. He was really good in martial arts. And if you saw the movie where I'm shooting Bruce Lee, and I shoot him, this is how Brandon died in the Crow.
Yeah.
And they hushed that over. It was tragic. Tragic. Then you had that one guy. Why somebody doesn't talk to people? He's doing this scene and he's telling people, "Watch this." He got a gun with a blank and he pulled the trigger and it killed him. I mean, are you kidding me?
Are there a lot of cover-ups behind the scenes in the stunt
Yeah.
industry? Yeah.
You know, when I did this movie with David Carradine, but I got shot with a machine gun, so they had the things there, and when that went off, I ripped my shirt, it burned my skin, and the stunt coordinator, the special effects guy says, "Oh, I made a mistake." Well, I grabbed him by his throat.
Yeah, I bet.
I said, "Are you crazy or what? Look at this."
Yeah.
And so you got to be. I'm real careful. And there's a film that I get people who want to do it for like $1 million. It's called Vengeance Is Mine. And there's a lot of stuff in there with guns and stuff. You know me with guns. I used 7 different ones in the Seneca Smasher. But you know, when it rings, the Sally Kirkland movie, she was awesome. You know, she's a wonderful lady, Academy Award nominee. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't die, but I did cry.
Okay.
Because in there, my wife and two kids died in the fire. So that was I did it 4 different angles. Came out, worked out real well, and so it's been like an adventure. I've done 50 movies, but 36 starring, co-starring. I did the older ones, the newer ones, and I mean I'm signed for like 7 pictures right now. I've turned 5 down.
You have.
Yeah, because there's
Just too
certain
much?
things I won't compromise.
Good for you.
I will not. I never used God's name in vain in my life. I had 10 throat surgeries in 10 years where I couldn't talk for 7 weeks. And there's no money you can pay me.
Mhm.
I told him God doesn't have a last name. He did, wouldn't be damn.
Right.
So,
Yes, true.
and I wouldn't do nudity. I'm raising my daughters. I lost a role
That's right.
where
Mhm.
I came to pick my script up, and they said, "Well, we got a new scene. You're going to do in a hot tub naked with her." She was a 12, not a 10.
Ah.
I said, "I'm not going to do that."
Mhm.
Well, by the time I got home, they called and says, we made a change in casting.
Hmm.
I was going to go down there, play Star Spangled Banner on his head.
Ah.
The Holy Spirit goes,
Yeah,
Mel,
yeah.
Mel.
Remember the morals and the values, and
But on a set, I'm always on time, no drugs, no alcohol. I know my lines,
mhm,
and people want to work with you again.
mhm,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that what you would tell to the up and coming stars and that are getting into the movies and people, their careers growing and expanding right now? What would you tell them to give them advice to be a successful movie stars yourself?
Well, have God in some part of your life. I can guarantee it'll change things because I, me, and my doesn't make it.
Mm,
Pride and ego. Joe and I were talking about the guy who played one Lone Ranger. He was so obstinate, he never worked after that.
mhm,
It's just not. But be prepared. Learn about camera technique. Learn about cold reading. Your character. What do you want? Why do you want it? How are you going to get it?
Yeah.
But be focused
mm,
and give yourself 3 years or 5 years.
mhm,
If you don't make it by then, use wisdom and find something else because I've known people in 20 years trying to do it, don't even
Yeah.
have their SAG card.
yeah.
It just, I know God told me I'm going to be a star. He didn't tell. I don't think he told you.
Yeah, and use that wisdom to guide you into, reality in order
Exactly.
to.
Not fantasy,
Yeah.
but reality.
Yeah.
Joe and I were talking about that on the way down here. And this is what you really got to put all your heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
But there still has to be, you got to understand, there's a God who knows what he wants for us
Yeah,
and how he will get it.
absolutely.
I never came out here to do movies. I never came out here to do ministry. But see, God has a plan and purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that we should all get together and do the next adventure out to Skid Row. And I do call it an adventure because it's actually one of the most memorable days of me living in the United States. And I've been here almost 4 years. And some of my most unbelievable moments, and it actually makes me tear up, is being with these people on Skid Row and seeing how grateful and how much gratitude they have in their
Mhm.
lives,
Mhm.
and being appreciative of what they do have rather than what they don't have.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it really humbles me and puts me back into position in my life to go,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
be grateful for every second you have here and
Mhm.
for every blessing that you have. And I absolutely love being down there. I really do. I love
You have to
immersing
come with me
myself.
sometime.
Yeah,
One
absolutely.
of my services.
Yeah, I would love that. And I know Vita, we'd love to have you there as well.
Most definitely, and I would like to invite you to our soirees that we do in Malibu or Santa
Thank you.
Monica for the coalition.
Mhm.
Sure.
I go down and I feed the shelters, the ladies,
Mm.
and we set up and do
I get a lot of
different things for
proposals
them.
in the women's prison.
I bet you do.
Have you taken any of
Yeah, I
them
didn't
up
take
on
it
them?
any seriously though.
This
no,
one
I would
gal
love
says,
to. I
"Hi,
would love to go.
this is my first time." I said, "Make it the last time."
Oh,
Do you believe in love at first sight? No.
no.
You're like, no, and I'm out.
God.
And Vita, we've got just a couple minutes left. I'd love to know what has been your most memorable and favorite piece that you've created and designed.
Probably for BET 2010. I've done BET 2010, 2015,
Mm-hmm.
a runway dress for the Grammys for 5-time Grammy winner Divine Evans' sister. But
Mm-hmm.
BET 2010 was the first.
Okay.
And it was the memorable because it was one of the bigger events that I was able to do a design for.
Mm.
I've worked with Dr. Dre,
Yep.
Macy, and all of those people, but that was pretty good. And I don't even know who it was,
Mm-hmm.
but the dress was amazing, and it was on the runway for BET. So, and that was the first.
Okay, and what could you give for advice to women that are on the red carpet or women that are in the public eye for styling tips? Because not a lot of us know how to piece things together, and we think we look good, but sometimes, we don't have that attention to detail, and that eye as you would.
2 things.
Okay.
DIY Google if you don't have me as a stylist.
So you need Vita as a stylist, first
Or
of all.
Google DIY.
Yeah,
Do it
absolutely.
yourself. DIY. I'm really serious about that.
Mhm.
If you look at the statistics of who goes on YouTube for whatever reasons, it's major. And
Yeah.
you can really, for beginners, if you did that, that's my suggestion. DIY.
Okay.
Put in what it is you want to do, fashion, makeup, sewing, whatever.
Okay.
And look at those that are doing it home base.
Okay.
And do it that way. If not, I'm on Facebook, Designs by Vita. I'm a stylist. Call me.
Yes. Well, we are definitely going to be talking about all the future red carpets that I have coming up and projects for this year. So I know that you're going to be seeing a lot of Vita's work on
November the 11th, guys.
Yes.
November the
And where do
11th.
we find the rest of the details for that? please?
Eventbrite, Facebook. I'll
Okay.
be posting it. Look for the event. It was the 24th. For everybody that's listening now, it's
Yeah.
November the 11th.
And I'm very excited. We have our friend, shout out to William Romeo. He'll be the
William Romeo, the host.
Host.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And we have a few guest celebrities. And if I may mention, I was just told that Mr. Dave Shelton
Okay.
of Raymond, who loves Raymond.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's said that he may come. So and some more. So come and enjoy yourself out there. November the 11th, guys.
Great. We will definitely be there. And Mel, how do we find you on social media so we can get in touch with you?
My website is www.melnovak.com, MELNOVAK.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on Facebook. I don't have time to do all the others.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Check his
Facebook.
IMDb.
I am.
Oh, yeah,
IMDb.
IMDb, right.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
and check me for IMDb for False Affairs. I'm in the movie for costume design. Yay!
Yay.
And we just had
$25
a-
million budget.
We just had a
Beautiful.
documentary on Steve McQueen
Okay.
and his salvation.
Yes.
I was in it. I used to minister to him when he was dying, and I did a movie with him. And it made more money than it was on September 28th, more money than all the other.
It was
big
the
pictures.
one-day show, Mel.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Thursday, I wanted to go
Yeah.
there. I
Well,
listened.
it's tonight. It's
Okay.
tonight too.
Yes.
Somewhere.
They've added another night.
Yeah.
Encore?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Okay.
And
So tonight. Okay, good.
Mel Gibson, Gary Sinise, and
Right.
Anthony. But there's just a lot of stuff
Oh
that's
my
been going
gosh.
on.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know that a lot of people would love to reach out to you in ministry and just,
Yeah.
being able to have that, to discussion with you. So they
And
can
I
reach
like
out
to
to you for
be
that.
invited to churches because nobody has a
Good.
gun. There's no fistfights. There's
Yes,
no
we
riots.
hope.
And I just ministered in Vancouver, Washington, in this big church, and they really loved. Because I use probably 100, 120 scriptures in every message. It blows them away.
Thank you for all that you do, and just thank you for being you, both of you, Vita and Mel.
Thank
You
you for
guys are-
having me.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
guys are
appreciate
wonderful people. I knew that 2 beautifully spirited people and 3 together would
Yeah.
make
Threefold cord cannot be broken.
Dynamite, dynamite.
Absolutely. It's been a
Yeah.
phenomenal show. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We are sponsored by Swap Fuel, so you can go to www.swapfuel.com. Best fat burners and also Focus multivitamins. We also have a protein powder. You can find me at www.tlcunleashed.com. We're here every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see you next Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for being
Thank
here
you.
tonight.
Bye.
All right.
So much fun. It
Very
was such a,
good.
that was a
Very
good
good.
combination.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing.
That was a great combination because I was able to play off the spiritual side of who I am without being an individual just coming across
Yes.
spiritually. I really appreciate you, and that's why I know I'm headed in
Hey,
the right direction.
Acts 5:29. I
That's-
need God's approval, not man's.
That's right. That's right.
We heard